Time for us to have a conversation on our main focus of today, non-violence, and we have perfect guests for that. The president and founder of African Youth Corporation for Peace and Development, Mr. Mundi Biga. You're welcome to Cameroon Feeling.
Thank you so much, Madam Patient.
Glad to have you here.
It's my pleasure.
And you have, I would say, your right-hand man right next to you, Mr. Tanko Patterson. He's a project director of the same organization. You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam Patience.
Glad to have you both here.
We're happy to be here.
If I could ask you one quick question on the one area you could tell a visitor to definitely visit in Cameroon if they are coming for the first time, what part of Cameroon would that be, or what would it be?
I will advise someone to visit Balmayo.
Balmayo?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Balmayo is known for his very beautiful tourist sites and his wonderful forest.
Oh, wow. What about you?
I'll advise somebody, a new visitor in Cameroon, to visit Awing.
Awing.
It's precisely Lake Awing.
Yes.
A very beautiful touristic site. A lot of natural things that they could really explore and be happy about your visit to Cameroon.
Basically, go see it for yourself.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming. We're talking about non-violence. But first, we need to know a little bit about the African Youth Corporation for Peace and Development. What will you tell us about the reason for its creation?
Thank you so much. It's a vision that we conceived since 2021. After what the world is going through, we came to realize that we are living in an era where youth are mostly used in the wrong direction. Yeah, at the forefront of every conflict, violence, crisis, we see the youth. The physical actors are the youth, which is a very wrong procedure, and we took it upon ourselves to say that no, youths are the future of tomorrow. Yes, if we could already make it a habit to you to see that they should be part and parcel of peace negotiator in their society, we are preparing a better future where everybody will be pleased and happy to live there. So to condemn to that effect, now came up with this initiative called African Youth Corporation for Peace and Development.
Yes.
That we, the youth, should start working on that direction. And it has been a wonderful initiative. Great projects have been carried out, and many people have appreciated it. Those that have checked from our website, from our YouTube pages, from our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and stuff.
We will get into the projects in a bit, but first let's talk about what are the problems you identify cause the lack of peace or the proliferation of violence in communities, and especially the young ones.
We start with moral decadence.
Okay.
Yeah, moral decadence. It is not about the region, it's not about a nation or a community. Moral decadence has arrested the whole world today. You see where youth, regardless of their family background, that in one way or other involved in an illegal act, a gesture that jeopardizes the integrity, the dignity of our society. Moral decadence, violence everywhere. Violence to areas that you least expected, like schools. In the past, schools were centers of the kind of sanctuary centers where we know that is where destinies are being reformed. Transformation for the future are taking place there. In those days where you see in schools, a student will see his teacher and see him as a god, but nowadays the opposite case. Yeah, so all these stuff makes the situation very worse, very bad for us. So violence, moral decadence, a lot of illegal behavior that youth are involved there. It's not an easy one, not a good thing.
That is so true. It's linked. Morality has to do with our perception of life and our judgment of the actions we're supposed to take. But then, what are the solutions you offer? Maybe I should ask you, Mr. Patterson. You have been dealing with these young ones. What do you tell them is a solution, and what are you telling their parents this morning?
Okay, our first option is, first of all, sensitization.
Okay.
We understand that our society needs to be informed of the danger because it is real. We see it, it is real, but the society needs to know about it. So firstly, we need to sensitize the population, sensitize parents. We go to home to talk about violence, to talk about drug trafficking, to talk about human trafficking. After sensitization, we have a lot of projects we carry in place. We involve youths to actively participate in it so that together we can see how to go out of it.
Yes. But what are the challenges you face doing this? Because there's something saying it, and then another part with the hurdles that come along the way.
There's a lot of challenges, Madam Patient. There's a lot of challenges. First of all, because some parents don't actually admit the fact that maybe their children are involved in such acts, and bringing them into our project at times is a very big problem. We need to convince, we need to invite again and again and again before they get involved into it. And if they don't get involved into it, these projects we have in mind, carrying the vision of our organization, would not be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about the project we're going to be looking at in a bit, how it was executed? Tell us the motivation behind it.
Okay, we realized that our education is actually having a negative impact, and together with our research conceptor, we actually came out with the project titled Campus Violence and Drug Trafficking, because we noticed that in our reality, Cameroon, mostly Cameroon youths, are actively involved in drugs. And this particular thing causes a very big damage in our society. And we have seen that in the anti-drug commune carried out in Cameroon, we've seen that 60% of youths are actively involved in drug trafficking. And in this 60%, it is very sad, but about 25% of them are students. So we decided to carry on a project titled Campus Violence and Drug Trafficking, where we first of all started with the project of meeting school administrators. We administer questionnaires to actually see at what level does campus violence and drug trafficking affect student academic performance.
Not to have you say everything, since we were there to cover, and we need to show proof of the fact that you're not just talking, you're actually doing. Solomon Lewo was in charge of that. Let's see your activities and I'll get back to you.
Situations like these abound on daily basis, those living stakeholders with plenty of worries.
We need not to avoid the aspect of violence, rather we have to face it the way it is. And one of the ways of facing the violence is, first of all, to recognize that it exists, and also to identify the causes of this violence. And from the causes now, we are going to look at the mitigation strategies.
It's just for us now to put the club together and strengthen the club and sensitize the students on the negative aspects of drugs and attacks in schools.
Hosted by Peace Home Academic Complex, the venue and choice of theme complements the commemoration of education against attacks.
I think the president or the coordinator of African Youth Cooperation for Peace and Development must have nosed around and discovered that there is a school that meets the theme or meets the name African Youth for Peace and Development, Cooperation for Youth for Peace and Development, because Peace Home is also not a coincidence. The name Peace is not a coincidence. It is a name that is built on the notion of peace. The peace that we talk about here in Peace Home, it may go beyond the physical peace that we talk about. It's the peace of God that we're talking about here, because God is the foundation of peace.
The situation is terrible. It's terrible in Cameroon. It's terrible everywhere on earth. We are just trying to stand the gap for our nation, Cameroon. And as we speak right now, from the report we did, we had findings that, if I start explaining to you, that in fact are horrible. So we are coming as a non-for-profit, non-governmental organization called African Youth Cooperation for Peace and Development, AYCPD, to accompany the UNESCO, United Nations and Cameroon government to make sure that we stand, we sensitize and combat this come home together. We intend to do this not only in this particular day, to carry it as long as possible, over 10 years planned. The club, also by the way, is by name Save Campus and Peace Club. This club will be put in place to make sure that we bring students together. We'll create activities in the club that were outstanding, that were unique in its own way, to promote peace, to promote integrity, and to combat all forms of moral decadence, all forms of violence and drug abuse within our academic environment.
With the campaign taken to the heart of the classroom is telling of a need for combined efforts.
We actually noticed that most of these students are influenced firstly by peers. Most of them follow friends that are actually drug addicts and cause them to be influenced by these particular friends that consume drugs and that are actually violent. And also, we also notice that it's a society. The society in where we live also influence these students to consume drugs and actually be violent in their school milieu.
I'm going to advise my friends and my neighborhood not to stop working with bad friends and dress decently.
We are the leaders of tomorrow, so we should lead. We should know these things so that we can lead those behind us, our junior brothers and sisters, to do the right thing in future, so we can have a better nation, a better Cameroon.
We should raise children in the way that they would grow and not depart. And just as the Bible also says, it says that when the foundations are bad, what can the righteous do? So if we can tackle this situation from the foundation, that is by raising children up in the fear of God and by the leadership of the Holy Spirit, then we'll be able to tackle these attacks in the school milieu.
With educational stakeholders deeply implicated, strategies to curb violence is on the way.
Is that we do a lot of moral education. We talk to these children. We encourage them. We talk with them. You know, if you want to brutalize, if you want to be hard on them, they would jump out of the school campus. They get under the bridges and so on, and the very person you send them away, they will wait for you under the bridge and the roadside to harm you. So what we do is that even when we catch children in this doing some of these things, we don't dismiss here. We don't dismiss children anyhow here, especially when the children are delinquent. We don't dismiss them. We keep them within the system and we work on them. We sensitize them and we clean them. We reset their minds. Because if you, the parent, sends a child to you because he or she has not got the methods to be able to handle this child, you as a professional, if you send the child out of school, it means you are planting a seed in society that even you yourself, you will harvest.
The campaign has thus been launched for each student to embrace the project Safe Campus and Peace Clubs to eradicate violence within the school milieu.
Congratulations to the African Youth Corporation for Peace and Development. We have the project director here with us, Mr. Tanko Patterson. And the final word is for you, President and Founder, Mr. Mundi Biga. You are moved from this to be inspired by using sports for peace. Tell us about that.
Thank you, Madam. Sport, safe education and peace crusade using sport is the advanced phase of our Safe Campus and Peace Club project that we're carrying out. Yeah, we intend to, because when we talk about violence, we also have violence in conflict zones, which the case there is very sad. We want to make sure that we move to those areas. We use sport as a tool, a unifying tool that the whole world knows, to mobilize, crusade for peace, and see how, with a single voice, with a single initiative, schools could go back. Because the majority of them, like the Northwest and the Southwest, schools are closed down.
Yes.
Education is a fundamental thing of humanity that we should not joke about.
When is this project happening?
It is already ongoing because we have a baseline survey that we've done. The report is out and it's showing a very terrible situation.
Okay.
Consequently, we choose to make sure that we start by doing phase one. And phase one shows that we should continue with the Safe Campus and Peace Club crusade in Yaoundé. We create clubs in schools. We work with 3 stakeholders: the principal, that's the teacher, the
like
students.
we saw in the reports.
Exactly, we work with teachers, students, and parents, because parents have also a very huge role to play.
I do agree with you.
Yes, we work with them.
So a big thank you again
Okay, madam.
for passing by and sharing this knowledge with us.